have several breaking news updates for you. We are learning a person was detained after bringing a gun to the BMW facility in Greer. A company spokesperson releasing this statement to us. Our first alert meteorologists have been giving us team coverage all day long, and that team coverage continues right now. Joining me are Fox Carolina's first alert meteorologist Chrissy Kohler and Brian Bachman. You all called today's first alert weather day last week due to the rain and wind. What is the most important thing? We do have breaking news coming in out of Anderson County. The sheriff's office says a cashier was shot at the Dollar General in Belton. We are taking a live look right now at this scene. You can see it is very active there. This all happened within the last 30 minutes. Just a few moments ago, we learned that 2 police officers were shot at. We are told that they are stable at the hospital, but of course, there is just a lot more to learn here. So please stick with us here on Fox Carolina as we get you that new information. Thousands of people are without power across the upstate and western North Carolina right now. More than 2,000 customers in Pickens are in the dark, and about 1,500 people in Buncombe County are without power. And we have reporters throughout the upstate, including Greenville, Henderson, and Pickens counties. New today out of Spartanburg. If you see a heavy police presence, don't be alarmed. The police department is taking part in an active shooting training exercise today. This is happening right now. One thing that was surprising to I know both of us was when the defense didn't give an opening statement out right off the bat. They instead waived their right until after the state had rested its case. What was that moment like when they finally gave their opening statement and, I mean, flat out said, our client killed Christina Parcell? Congress can agree on a funding bill. A government shutdown will take effect at 12:01 a.m. this Saturday, less than 2 days from now. Out with the old and in with the new. There's going to be some demolition today, if you can't already tell, to make room for a new school here in the upstate. This is a live look at that demolition happening in Spartanburg. Yeah, you might have this picture of starting your day off with an omelet, using the eggs that you grabbed from your backyard coop, saving you from the hassle of these current prices. But if you are thinking about starting your own flock, make sure you know the rules because they do vary across the upstate. Oh, Enrique, you are having way too much fun there. You're actually in the perfect position to just go ahead and do a snow angel while you are down there. Tons of accumulate. There we go. Thank you, Enrique. That looks great. There are a few things to keep in mind. Be prepared for road closures. It might take you a little longer to get to the arena. So can you just teach me a DJ pose? Because like right now I got this one. Is that a good one? Or what's the DJ pose?
Look, we may have to give you the headphones.
Yeah, you take the
headphones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need the headphones.
Over.
Yeah, you
come
need
over
the headphones.
You got it, yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to come over here.
Go ahead.
And I'm just going to...
You're so.
That's all
You're hired right there. You're hired.
Okay, perfect. I feel like it's always unfortunate when you accidentally bring a con man back to your small town. Like, ugh, that's the worst.
I'd have to. I hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens. Exactly. Okay. Okay.
She caught it. So,
now what do we do?
You take your dough.
Hand up.
Hand up.
Hand down.
And we're going to tug it. Okay. Hand up.
Hand down. Give it a tug. Oh. First try.
I think I kind of did it. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Although, I feel like we shouldn't be fighting. We're both rebels. You too can be the owner of one of these fabulous bunny headbands. Our meteorologist Chrissy might be feeling left out. Chrissy, we got one for you too. Don't worry about that. I feel like, you know how the Grinch's heart like melted? I feel like that's what's happened to me with the snow. I wasn't excited, but suddenly I'm so happy that it's here. So happy that we're actually going to continue midday. We have another full hour coming for you, so please stick around. Well, we are following a first alert in Greenville County. Deputies are looking for a gunman after a shooting sent one person to the hospital. The sheriff's office says deputies responded around 11:45 last night near Anderson Road and Blackwood Street, which is in the Judson area. Once on scene, deputies found a man shot. He was rushed to the hospital where he is expected to recover. At this time, there's no suspect information or details about what led up to this shooting, but of course, we will bring you the first alert as we learn more. Well, Fox Carolina News, the only local news station in court when an upstate murder suspect appeared before a judge. Anderson County investigators say he killed 2 people and left another hurt. Last night, Darren Martin was given a $10,000 bond for possession of a weapon and a $50,000 bond for attempted murder. Martin was also ordered to not contact the victim who survived that shooting. Although he was given bond for those charges, he's staying in jail right now for the 2 murder charges. He'll go through bond for that charge at a later date. Of course, this all unfolded when deputies were called out to Quinn Street Wednesday morning after a man who had been shot walked out of a home to flag down help. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay, but the coroner says 2 people were found dead inside that home. They're now being identified as 22-year-old Christian Woods and 59-year-old Rona McGirt. Well, now, this isn't the first time that Martin has been charged with murder. His criminal history, it goes back more than 3 decades and includes kidnapping and domestic violence, most recently in November of last year. He was also charged with murder the first time in 2020, but 3 years later, he pleaded down to unlawfully carrying a weapon. He was sentenced to time served. And new today, we are hearing response from the solicitor about the previous case. He was not in office then, but says that this time around, things will be different. Solicitor Micah Black saying in part, quote, "The facts of each case are different and often necessitate different outcomes, but I am committed to prosecuting violent crime in Anderson and Oconee counties to the fullest extent of the law," end quote. This case still under investigation. In the meantime, Martin will stay behind bars for now.
He's on the phone for a second trying to talk to his, I think his supervisor. He gets off the phone and he says, "I have something to tell you. I have a small bomb."
The man accused of telling troopers he had a bomb on I-85 will stay behind bars. Ahmed Al-Hendi appearing in court asking to be let out of jail, but a judge denied him bond. This is a story Fox Carolina brought to you as a first alert back in January. Al-Hendi was pulled over for a traffic stop and told troopers he had a bomb in his tractor trailer. All 6 lanes of I-85 were shut down for more than 4 hours during rush hour. SWAT teams and the bomb squad were called in, but nothing was found. In court, Al-Hendi's attorney asked for him to be granted bond and brought up previous medical issues, saying jail is not the right place for him.
A couple years ago, he had a bad motorcycle accident where he broke both femurs, had metal rods put into his legs. He would then had to be hospitalized in 2023, end of 2023, early 2024, because of infection. That got cleared, but he told me that since he's been at the detention center, he has had to go back onto antibiotics for fear that the infection is making a comeback.
Well, then it was the state's turn. Prosecutors described the moments they say the suspect told law enforcement he had a bomb.
She says, "You have a what?" He says, "I have a small bomb." And she said, "Can you tell me where it is?" He says, I can't tell you where it is." Kind of half laughing while he's doing this. She asked him too, "Are you serious?" And he says, do I look serious?"
Now, prosecutors brought up the inconvenience they say Al-Hendi caused, bringing up the fact more than 10,000 cars were stopped for hours while that interstate was shut down. Like we said, the judge denied Al-Hendi bond, so he remains in jail this midday. Turning now to a first alert in Pickens County, the search for a missing camper at Table Rock State Park is resuming after search crews put it on hold to line up more resources yesterday. Well, Stephanie Womack was last seen Monday, March 3rd. She was camping with her husband who went to get supplies, but when he got back, she was gone. Since then, hundreds of people have been looking for her. Multiple agencies across the upstate are involved, along with SLED and the DNR. The Pickens County Sheriff's Office says the search has exhausted a lot of resources as they resume today, with about 30 people helping. Today's search will be more intensive ground search with a dog and a drone. Again, no foul play is suspected in Womack's disappearance, but if you know where she may be, you are asked to call the Pickens County Sheriff's Office right away. New today out of Spartanburg, if you see a heavy police presence, don't be alarmed. The police department is taking part in an active shooting training exercise today. This is happening right now in the area of South Church Street and Calder Avenue at Carver Middle School. Neighbors might be noticing several police vehicles, maybe even hearing some sirens or simulated gunfire. Again, none of that is for a real situation, and this training will end shortly at noon. Turning now to Asheville, a man accused of sexually assaulting a child in a public bathroom is out of jail. This is a look at Cameron McCullough. Officers say they were called to Weaver Park just before 5 p.m. Tuesday after getting a call about a man luring a child into a restroom. before sexually assaulting them. Police say bystanders detained that suspect until they arrived and arrested him. McCullough was charged with statutory sex offense with a child by an adult. He was booked into the Buncombe County Detention Center and was released after posting a $250,000 bond. Police say McCullough is now banned from all city parks and was issued a restricted access notice.
And now, a Fox Carolina First Alert Weather Day update.
And here is what you can expect.
And a great tool to have is the free Fox Carolina First Alert Weather app. It is something that I have on my phone to keep me up to date on what is going on. And you can set up alerts and notifications to alert you. And that is especially important when storms are moving through in the middle of the night. So of course, we do want to get you that QR code so that you are able to download the First Alert Weather app on your phone. If you don't have time to pull it out right now, you can also find it in the App Store or on Google Play. Extra important is to go into settings and make sure the sound is on for those alerts so that it can wake you up if this happens in the middle of the night. Sometimes you meet people that just put things into perspective, and that is certainly the case with Jim Murray, a 34-year-old upstate husband and father learning how to walk again. These days, he's taking it one prosthetic step at a time.
He's just a good person. Like, I can't pinpoint exactly one thing that made me fall in love with him.
From high school sweethearts to husband and wife to parents of 2 boys, Jim and Danielle Murray have been together for 15 years.
There's just so many amazing things about him.
We spend a lot of our time outdoors, riding bikes all the time, or going to swimming spots or just anything outside.
Back in February, Jim got sick.
Originally just thought it was a bad stomach bug, woke up with just real bad chills.
It was more than the winter flu.
And the next morning, I can just tell he felt pretty bad, and I was kind of rushing out the door and everything, so I did call his mom and I told him, I think you need to go check on Jim. I think he needs to go to the doctor.
A trip to the Minute Clinic quickly turned into a trip to the emergency room. Nearly 20 years after having his spleen removed, Jim's body couldn't fight off a bacterial infection, and it could be deadly.
And then within 12 hours, I ended up being sedated and intubated, had a fever above 107. I was out for about 5 days. They really didn't know how it was going to be when I came back.
Yeah, that was really tough. It was really hard. That whole time I just thought about the boys pretty much. I just want him to be okay. Our boys, he does everything with him. They're his best friend. So those 5 days were definitely the hardest.
So then when I woke up, I didn't have good blood flow to my feet or my hands.
They kind of told us that he may lose some of his fingers and that they would try to salvage as much as they can.
And then I ended up having 6 surgeries in 6 weeks.
Losing more than just fingers, he also lost both arms and both feet.
I didn't know I needed extra vaccinations, which would have prevented this. And I've talked to a couple other people that have lost their spleens and they had no idea either. So, there's just a couple different vaccines that you need to get per the CDC.
Jim says while the information is easily found in a Google search, he had no idea. Now, a quadruple amputee, he's learning to walk again.
So I'm really just spending that time, and a lot of it is just building up those core muscles, building up my leg muscles. I lost probably over 30 pounds.
From standing to stepping to one day running, Jim keeps moving forward. And so does his family, everyone adapting to new circumstances, even the boys.
I thought they would be scared, to see him, but they weren't. They were just happy to see their dad.
Danielle and Jim purchased books about amputations, saying it helped the boys understand what was going on with their dad.
My 4-year-old, they fill out a thing, my dad is so strong because of this, and it said, my dad is so cool because he will have robot hands and robot feet.
What's more impressive than how fast Jim is making progress is his attitude.
You could look at your situation in 2 ways, and the way I've been phrasing it is, I'm in this situation because of horrible events that occurred, or I could be thankful for to be alive because of a series of fortunate events. And I'm choosing to be thankful, right?
Good job, Ev. Keep going, buddy.
Yeah, I lost a lot, but I still get to see my family every day. I still have my mind, I still have my sight. There's a lot of things I can still be thankful for.
Jim and Danielle credit their support team and all the healthcare workers at Encompass Health in Greenville who have helped them throughout this journey. And as for what's next, Jim says he will keep on working toward his big goal, riding a bike again.